Hi everyone. Today we will be looking at how to process an image for laser cutting a woodcut block as part of Northeastern's Letterpress Goes 3D project. You're going to need Photoshop and Illustrator for this process, and it's important that you select an image that is drawn or digitally designed that has clear line work. It doesn't use shading. You want to make sure that the software can properly process it into a black and white, not shades of gray, but pure black and white monochrome image. So with that in mind, you want to open the image you want to use. We're going to be using this design for Homosaurus. Alrighty, once your image is opened, first thing you're going to want to do is duplicate the layer. This is a first step for any good Photoshop project. The background layer is locked, meaning it can be, there's certain elements of it that can't be changed, but a duplicated layer you can do anything to. You can delete the background layer once you've made the duplicate. All right, the first step is going to be making this monochrome, black and white. Like I mentioned, that's necessary both for the vector to be read properly and because letterpress printing is monochrome. So you're going to go to Image, Adjustments, Black and White. You're going to want to either slide the sliders all the way right or left, depending. Here, we're going to take them all the way to the left. We have an image with many colors, so you'll see as I slide the sliders over how that's influencing the color output. All right, that is completely black and white. We'll press OK. Cool. Now, the laser cutter works by cutting away at the black parts of an image and leaving raised the white parts. So with that in mind, we need to invert this image so that the proper elements, the Homosaurus, are raised. So you want to go to Image, Adjustments, Invert. Great. Now, when letterpress printing, you're always going to print from a mirrored image in order to leave the proper print on the page. So go to Image, Image Rotation, Flip Canvas, Horizontal. Right on, we now have an image that is ready to go over to Illustrator for processing. Just give it a quick save as. Make sure that you're saving it as a PNG and give it a name. And we are now ready to go to Illustrator. All right, now we are in Illustrator. So you're going to want to create a new document, not open, but create a new document. You want to make a document that has the dimensions of the laser cutter bed. So the dimensions of the area in the laser cutter that gets the laser cut. So in our case, for the Northeastern KMD makerspace, is 24 by 18 inches. Click Create. Cool. Now you need to get your image in there. So go to File, Place, and select the image. And click anywhere for now. Cool. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Now what we want to do is turn this image into a vector, which is essentially a geometric rendition of an image that can be scaled to any size and read by various computer programs and softwares like the laser cutters software. In order to do that, I'm going to go to Object and Image Trace, Make. Cool, so we now have a basic trace. This one looks okay, but in many cases, you're going to want to refine your trace. So you're going to go over to the right side and open the Image Trace panel. The first thing you want to check is that it's in black and white. It must be in black and white. and not just appear black and white on your screen. It must be set to black and white as the mode for it to be read by the laser cutter. There are a couple other useful settings that you can change here. The threshold will determine how much white or black is in the image. You also have paths and corners, which determine how many paths and corners are drawn as part of the geometric equation that makes up the vector. Oftentimes, paths and corners won't have much impact unless you're working with a highly detailed image. And noise. Noise may actually have a strong impact on your image. Noise determines, like it says, how much noise there is. So here it won't do much because we have a very clean cut image, but for more detailed things, you'll notice it make a difference. So it looks like we're all set. I'm gonna close this out. You are then going to expand the vector. This finalizes it, and yeah, it finalizes it. Cool, we now have the vectorized image. Our next step will be making sure it's the right size that we want the woodcut to be. So you want your sizing to be increments of 0.5 inches. And that's because that is a size that is compatible with typical font sizes like 16 points, 32 points, etc. So I'm feeling like we could make this 1.5 inches in height. And I should say specifically, you want it to be in increments of 0.5 inches in height. I'll change that. The shape, the size is changed to scale. Last thing I want to do before we save is move it over to the corner. That'll just make it as easy as possible for people working at the makerspace to laser cut it and ultimately saw it into a usable wood block. If you want to make multiple versions of an image or do multiple images in one file, the important thing to remember is to leave at least a 1/4 inch, if not more, space between them so that they can be physically cut away from each other. Cool. We're looking good here. I'm going to file, save as, and let's give it a name. Now, this is an important last step. You do not want it to be Illustrator 2020, but rather Illustrator CC Legacy, which can be read by the laser cutter and is more broadly compatible with various devices. All right. And it's saved. It can now be emailed out to the makerspace and turned into a woodcut. Thanks for watching.